Hello everybody, I'm Stijn from Mono Sound Lab, and today I'm going to explain you how to set up a dual solo bus on an Allen Heath SQ. Dual solo bus or dual Q bus or dual listen bus. If you don't know what that means, let me quickly explain you. I'm in a band, I have a band, I mix monitors for a band that has a keyboard player, he plays on a wedge. And I have a lead singer and he plays on an in-ears. Now, whenever I want to listen to the wedge, I want to hear what he's hearing in the wedge. Whenever I listen to the in-ears, I want to be able to hear what the singer is hearing in his in-ears. But whenever I cue the in-ears, there's lots of click track in the in-ears. I do not want to hear the in-ears in my wedge. So I want to be able to mute that wedge and only listen to my in-ears. So how can you do that on the Allen Heath SQ? First things first, we go to the menu, we go to the I/O tab. Let's first patch. On the Allen Heath, you have a PAFL bus, which is pre or after fader listening. So whenever I push the PAFL, it sends the signal of that channel or aux to the PAFL. Now in my case, I'm going to use the PAFL as my in-ear cue, which will be this bell pack right here. I patched that to 1112 into the bell pack. Done. Now, second thing on the Allen Heath, you have something called the listen bus. Let's call it bus. What is that? That gets the signal from the PAFL. So the PAFL signal is copied or is sent as well to the listen bus. Now, in my case, I'm going to use the listen bus, the listen mono, because I have a mono wedge. I want to send that to channel 10, and that will be sent to my this little speaker right there. So that's going to be my wedge in this setup. Okay, that's that. Next thing, we're going to head up to the setup menu, and then we go to the audio menu. In that audio menu, you have a PAFL section. Now, a couple important knobs to push. You have the select follow PAFL button. What does that do? Well, whenever I push PAFL, my select follows, so it selects the channel I want. Very simple. Second button you need to push, the PAFL follow mix button. Now, what is that? PAFL follow mix. Let me quickly explain you on the desk. I've prepared a session. So the session is, we have a pink noise input channel, vocal input channel, a wedge key aux master, and an in-ear monitor aux master. On the console, there's also the master fader for now. This is the master fader, so the thing that sends everything to the front of house. So this is closed, so now you won't be able to hear anything at the front of house. This is opened, you'll hear the front of house if something's sent to it. Let's not get into it. We do monitors. So PAFL follow mix. What does it do? So this is the mix select buttons right over here. You can see them. Whenever I push a mix select button, in this case, I'm going to push the wedge key, which is this aux master. This aux master goes into sends on fader mode. You can see the pink and the vocal and a certain amount. And when I go to the in-ear monitor lead, now this goes sends on fader to the in-ear monitor lead. And very important, this fader, the master fader, will now, if I push this button, it'll be the same fader as the aux master I selected. In this case is the in-ear monitor lead. As you can see, same fader. Push the mute off and on. This is the same fader. Whenever I go to wedge key, this will be the key, the aux key fader. Now that we've done that, that's all pretty cool. There's another tab that you need to be aware of, the output AFL. So whenever I listen to an output to the PAFL bus, I want to listen after the fader. Why? Because when I listen to my in-ears, I want to hear the exact level my in-ear feed gets. You see, in this case, I pushed it a little bit up, and that way I can hear what, whenever I push PAFL, I can hear what the in-ear monitor, lead hears. So if I saturate his bell pack, I want to be able to hear it. Now there's another thing about the PAFL follow mix button that I forgot just then. Whenever you push the mix button, as you can see, what happens, I should be able to hear the mix I sent to the in-ear monitor, and when I push this, I should be able to hear the wedge key, which is not the case. Now this is a software thing that the Allen Heath guys incorporated. There's one thing you got to remember, you have to select one time, you have to select the PAFL of the aux master fader, just that once, and now as you can see, it will follow my PAFL. So now I'm listening to the wedge key, now I'm listening to the in-ear monitor lead. Now we're almost there. Let's go to the other tab, which is a really important tab. We go to the setup. mixer config, and then we have the roll tab. The roll tab explains what the master fader does. You saw before which functions it can have, but now if you're going to push this button, listen level, push it, as you can immediately see, the master fader goes down, and then this fader, the master fader, becomes the listen fader, which, do you remember, when in the beginning, when I patched, it will be my wedge listen fader. So, really important, if you push this up, as you can see, I put some pig noise in the lead. Now you don't hear anything because the channel is muted. Don't want that, I want the wedge key. There's some pig noise in there. Select it. There you go, I can hear the wedge. And now it's muted, so it's really important. How you can see that the fader is really important, you can see that the fader is in a listen level mode, is turned red. Whenever it's in a mixed master fader mode, it'll be blue. So listen mode, red, that gives you an idea that this is the listen level mode. So that's it, really simple actually. And that is another really neat trick that I want to show you. On the Allen Heath, when you go to the audio setup audio tab, when you go back to the PAFL, now the guys at Allen Heath, they incorporated something what I call a Shellbox for the Allen Heath. Let me show you what I do. I patch an external channel into the PAFL section. So I push it on. Now you remember the talkback from front of house. Front of house is really important. The guy always wants to talk to the monitor guy. He wants to shout at you whenever he wants, and you have no control over it. This is exactly what it does. So I've patched the talkback front of house into the local socket talk. I'll select that, push apply, and now what happens if the guy at front of house, I have a guy at front of house right now, if he shouts something in his mic, I'll hear it in the in-ears, in the PAFL, and in the wedge. Go ahead, front of house.
Hey, this is talkback front of house.
You see, it's coming through my wedge and in my in-ears, as you can see. And now this level, the listen level, does not affect of me hearing, me hearing his voice into the wedge or in my ears. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you liked it. And if you have comments or reactions, just leave them in the section below, and we'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Bye.